today I want to go over some information with you on MyFitnessPal. Alright, so it's an app we can get on our phone with either Android or iPhone. That's what the app looks like, the little Under Armour symbol, person jumping up. So we'll either download that app, or if we have it on our phone, we'll go ahead and click on it. If we haven't downloaded it before, it'll ask us for a little bit of information, our weight, things like that. So once we get that entered in, it'll pull up a screen that looks like this, and I'll click on the little plus button there. Once I click on that, it'll bring up some option. I'm going to hit food. Once I'm on food, it'll bring up a selection of breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. So what we want to do is get in the habit of starting to enter our meals in before we eat them. So for example, on breakfast, let's say for breakfast I want to have 3 eggs. So I would just search for the item and I would type in there 3 eggs, search that out, and I see like the second one down just shows 3 eggs. So I'm going to click on there and I'm going to hit the check mark, and then it's in there. All right, so let's say I wanted to add another food and I wanted to do anything that had a barcode. So I would just tap the little barcode icon, and once that pulls up, let's say I wanted to have a protein shake. So again, anything that has a barcode, so I'll just scan that in there, and that automatically enters all the nutrition information. So I would just check that, and then it's in there. So we want to do that with all of our meals, and end up taking you a whole 5 minutes in a day to do that. But once we do that, then that also allows us to not have to try to think about at the end of the day, you know, what did I have earlier? So after we've done that, we'll click on the nutrition button. When we click on that, we'll want to make sure we have it on macros. We've got calories, nutrients, macros. We want to have it on macros. That's going to tell us how many grams of carbohydrates, fat, and protein we've taken in for the day. So some baseline numbers for us are going to be about 50 grams of carbohydrates and about 80 to 100 grams of protein for a woman, about 150 to 180 grams of protein for a man. All right, so you'll also see it has some percentages there out by the side. We can change our percentages by clicking on one of them, clicking on one of the percentages again, and that brings up a little screen where we can adjust our percentages there. So once we've adjusted them and have them where we want them, we'll just hit the little check mark button, and then it's automatically adjusted. What I personally do is I have my fat intake at 60%, protein intake at 35%, carbohydrate intake at 5%. Now, you know, I'm not a nutritionist or a dietitian. I, for the most part, follow what's called a ketogenic meal plan, which is a higher fat, lower carb, and sugar meal plan. A lot of times, percentages on that will be a little bit higher on the fat, but this is how I do mine. So anyway, I hope this was helpful in getting you started on how to use MyFitnessPal. We'll talk to you soon.